Why don't you say we get to the starting lineups here?
Yes, we're going to start with the front row, where the 57, Rob Lathrop, alongside Rob Lathrop, the 10C of Carly Austin.
The 37T of Kevin Travels will start on the inside of row number 2 alongside of the 51B car. That is Brendan Rozbarski.
Row number 3, the 31 of Fast Eddie Garoni and Cody Winchell. That is a seriously fast row number 3.
Yes, it certainly is. Outback, 2 of the favorites to win here tonight. A couple of 7s here starting in row number 4, and in the 7th spot is Nick Halen. Boy, that row right there hit 777s. Go to Vegas, pull a slot machine. Cameron Austin in the 7C will start in 8th place.
We move to row number 5 for the number 7D of Dylan Washburn and the 8 of longtime Legends of Pacific Racing, Keith Clement.
And in row number 6 of the 08, that's Raymond Casey, alongside of the 28 of Michael Stearns.
We move to row number 7, the 86 of Kimberly Rouse and the 65 of Blake Borges.
And row number 8, it's the 52 car of Mike Soyseth and the 12W, who we just saw in the Bandolero race. He's hoping this one goes a little bit better. That's Wyatt Sansom.
And the final row is row number 9, and the 77 of Casey Phillips finds herself on row number 9, all on her own down there. That is our lineup for the Legends of the Pacific. Of course, Legends of the Pacific is the West Coast version of the Legend Car Association. Mike David actually runs this whole deal now, and he's growing the car count back in the Legends of the Pacific, so that is good to see that we're getting forward progress in these cars, because they have been a feeder to our late models in recent years, and a good feeder as well for late models.
Mike David, of course, if you're unfamiliar with the name out there, a legend in the West Coast stock car
former
world.
NASCAR West champion.
Yes.
Mike David in the when he was racing the Bennett Lane Winery.
One of the best drivers in that series history in his heyday was Mike David.
The battle with Eric Holmes and Mike David was pretty legendary.
Indeed, yeah. And Mike David has had a successful career not only in business but also in the racing parts world.
Yeah, has a parts business in Modesto where they sell parts and chassis and put cars together, and you'll see a lot of our late models and all the parts are supplied by a lot of the cars here by Mike David at David's Racing Products. So Mike doing a good job and now getting involved with the Legends and supplying all the parts for the Legend cars. So we're looking forward to seeing this over the next couple of years, really growing the Legend cars back. I remember when they used to come here with 30-plus cars in a race, and sometimes we'd have a B main for these Legend cars.
And I think you're going to see, we saw this in the heat races too, but I think you're going to see a point here that's going to remind you a little bit of dirt track racing, where they're going to let them kind of wind it up, and you're going to think, what are they, like wheel packing or something? It's just letting them get some heat in the tires. Heat and tires in these cars is really important. You don't want to overheat them, but you also don't want to go sailing it off into turn 1 on cold tires.
No, you don't. So they'll get these tires warmed up, these harder tires that they run on.
Love that noise.
We do. Love the Legend cars. Big fan of the Legend cars. I tell you what, though, Jason, you would not believe the amount of oil that one of these cars can dump on the racetrack. We had one time lose a motor and absolutely oiled the whole racetrack. I think we used our whole allocation suite for the season on it. And in fact, we used to say Legend Cars sponsored by whatever the brand of suite was we were using this mini dry at the time. So
I can believe it.
There's these little motorcycle motors sure can dump a lot of oil on the racetrack.
I can believe it for sure.
We've had some great races here at Madera in recent times with Jeremy Wood being one of the front runners here for many years in the Legends of the Pacific. We've had some legendary races. Robbie Sub, the battle always between Jeremy Wood and Robbie Sub. There's been some great Legend car battles over the years.
Everybody slowed back down, and now they will set the field and double them up and we'll get ready to go for 35 laps here on the 3rd mile at Madera Speedway. And I want to say thanks to a group of sponsors that have helped put this event on: Hacienda Pools and Rick Rosbarski, Clean Blast Abrasives with Tim Spurgeon, L5 Farming, Nut Up Industries, of course, the sponsor of our Pro Late Model Series here at Madera, and Performance Race Graphics, and Mike Soyseth, who has put up $100 for the hard charger here tonight. Now, that might not be fair because Mike starts 15th, so he's like a prime candidate to win his own $100, right? Like, we got to tax him on that? How's that work? If you win your own award, like, do you get taxed on that, Outback?
I'm not sure.
Man, I thought you were the accountant here, Outback. Come on.
One name that I did see down there, you called out Tim Spurgeon. We haven't seen Tim. Tim's a long-time late model racer, and a pretty good late model racer too. Haven't seen Tim racing late models in a while. Was a good, hard-charging racer.
But great to see him helping sponsor one of the series out here.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. 35 laps. Legends of the Pacific return to the Madera Speedway, and we got a car up in trouble already. A green flag is out. Somebody went and dropped to the back.
Keith
clean
Clement
and green.
it is.
Carly Austin on the outside, but it's Rob Lathrop on the inside. That blue 57 going to try to take the lead, and you're right, the 8 car is already off the track, Outback. We got one out before we even went green.
Yeah, the driver from Stockton, California, Keith Clement. He's a long-time legend racer, so that's tough to see him go out of this event. But I tell you what, Jason Galvin, the top 8 to 10 cars in this race are very, very, very good quality cars. And it is Carly Austin. Her brother is back there in roundabout 6th position on the racetrack. Carly doing a great job in that 10C.
I was just going to say, here's something you don't see a lot around Madera here. The outside line is freight training. The inside right now, Carly Austin out in front, but company already. Here's Rosbarski to the inside for the lead off of turn 4. Brendan Rosbarski, 51B, going to try to get there. Powers down. Carly Austin leads another lap as they head into turns 1 and 2. Let's see if Carly Austin can keep that outside rolling. That's how she took the lead in this one. Able to pinch down the leader on the outside. Carly Austin doing a nice job of it again, just rolling that top side out back.
We often talk about that 51-50 turn 2, that you get up on the high line, you get that big slingshot. If you're up a little off the racetrack, you'll see it there, Carly moving away. And here comes Cameron Austin now. Cameron Austin gets around the outside of Rosbarski. Of course, Rosbarski, his father, Rick Rosbarski, who's a very, very good race car driver in his time too. So now it's the Austins 1 and 2, and Cameron is coming after the number 10 C of Carly now.
Yeah, the paint scheme's reversed. Green and black for Carly, black and green for Cameron. Carly leads again. Cameron Austin started in 8th place and powers into the lead down the back straight, and we got a spin in turn 1 and our first caution of the night, Outback.
Yes, we do. We got a car around. I'm just trying to pick a number up on that car that is turned around. I think it's the 22, I believe. Maybe.
It's hard to read, and here we go.
Is it 28?
It's even hard to read here on our Map TV cameras.
28 it is.
28.
It's the Stearns car, Michael Stearns. Michael Stearns. So he'll get back going. That number is very, very hard to read.
But now we know.
Yeah, it's kind of like a white blob, and they don't have it stenciled out wide enough with the numbers on it. So the leader of the pack right now is Carly Austin. Of course, Cameron Austin also races modifieds as well. Cameron's a pretty good modified racer. And they're from up in the Akaya way. So the Austins.
The NorCal Transmission, Savage Concrete teams up there.
Yep.
Schaefer's Racing Oil and Winter Racing Tires.
What town are they from, Jason?
Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa, that's right, up that Ukiah Santa Rosa way.
Beautiful part of the state.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is up there. A beautiful part.
I tell you what, keep an eye on the restart here, too. Cameron Austin's going to take the outside line here out back. Well, I don't know. Maybe they awarded Carly as the leader still because Cameron had poked out in front right as the caution came. But either way, I think Cameron Austin has the line that you're going to want here on the restart out back, being up top. And keep an eye right behind him there is that 31 car, the longtime competitor down out of Bakersfield and Kern County Raceway Park champion, Fast Eddie Garoni.
Yes, Fast Eddie is always fast when he comes to this super fast 1/3 mile racetrack. Now the Austin kids are up front. That's Carly down low and Cameron up high. So Carly needs to get a bit of a mini jump here and gets a good start, but Cameron
big
up on
wreck
the
on the front straightaway. Huge crash at the front start-finish line.
Yep.
The 65 car, Blake Borchers, and that's the 12W of Wyatt Sansom, who had issues in the Bando race as well. They were at the back of the pack, and I don't know what got them together, but I looked up, and the 65 car out back was 4 wheels in the air, up above the K-rail there, and came back down hard, and Wyatt Sansom also made heavy contact, and I can see Blake Borchers is furious inside of that 65 car as the DJ safety crew is there right away. And I think that's I don't know if that's an official who came running over to check on Borchers. They were awfully concerned. It was a big hit right here at the start-finish line.
Right front wheel is laying over, so it's obviously got suspension damage to the right front of that car. Like you say, that was a hard hit into the K-rail, and you can kind of see the black marks down there where the 65 car has climbed that K-rail.
It's actually hard to see on our camera shot here because the UTV is in the way. Yeah, there's a great shot from our MAV TV crew. That right front wheel, as you mentioned out back, laid over. And I'm just going to tell you right now, that right front's laid over, and I think that's the prettier side of the race car right now.
And that's well, you look at the left side of this car. The wheel is pointing to the K-rail. So this thing has a whole ton of damage. This severe steering and suspension damage.
I mentioned before this race out back, these cars are fast, wicked fast. Wyatt Sansom going over and talking to Blake Borcher, saying, I don't know what that conversation was like. As I mentioned, Borchers was visibly distraught, and boy, you get a good shot there.
Yeah,
I told you the right front looked better than the left front, didn't I? Boy, that is so unfortunate to see for Blake Borchers.
It's going to be a complete new suspension on the 65 car. That's if it didn't get the chassis as well. And a good chance of how hard that thing is damaged, that there's probably chassis damage to that car as well. And you can see on that left front wheel, you can see the marks from the K-rail, the white marks on that tire where he is, like you said, climbed the K-rail. The Austins line up, and it will be Carly to the inside, Cameron to the outside.
And we're coming back to the green here with 29 laps remaining in the Legends of the Pacific main event here at Madera Speedway. 6 laps down. The Austin siblings on the front row. That is Carly on the inside, and brother Cameron from the 8th starting spot to the lead on the outside. Green flag back in the air here at Madera, and Cameron jumps right back out in front.
Well, that $100 right now is looking good to Cameron Austin as he takes the lead going down the back section into nice right turn. He has a very, very nice ride, and that extra $100 would certainly be nice riding in his pocket when he goes back to Santa Rosa.
Fast Eddie Garoni on the inside and making the move on Carly Austin into second, bringing the 7 of Nick Halen with him.
Yep. Nick Halen's one of the fast racers in this Legends of the Pacific. Now, Carly pushes up the racetrack, and Brendan Rizbarski now gets to the inside of the 10C car. There's a good battle here between Fast Eddie Garoni and Nick Halen, and I'm sure this is going to be a great battle for many, many laps. 2 very, very fast races here at Madera Speedway.
A couple of highlighter yellow door numbers there for the 31 of Garoni and the 7 of Halen. And Eddie Garoni's got to be looking in the mirror at Halen, but also keeping his eyes on the prize in front, and that is Cameron Austin, who is starting to open up a lead. And here's Halen to the inside of Garoni in 1 and 2. Garoni with the preferred line for now. But boy, Nick Halen got a heck of a run and is able to clear Fast Eddie. And I tell you what, Cameron Austin might want to start looking in his rearview mirror, because there's a gray and yellow car that is on its way to the front.
Yeah, Nick Halen, if he can get this guy to the front, he may in fact be the fastest one. How about this number 12? Normally we see Cody Winchell in those Winchell cars very, very fast. seen Jeremy Wood race these Winchell cars and a ton of other people in these cars. I think Robbie Sub as well. So that 12 car is fast, and he gets rid of Brendan Rosbaski.
And that's for 4th place.
Yes, it
as
is.
Winchell now will try to go and get Fast Eddie Garoni and find his way up onto the podium. And up front right now, we've got a battle for the lead brewing because Nick Halen, I'm not going to say that he's there out back, Andy, but he's darn close.
Yes, he is, getting very, very close. It'll only be a couple more laps before you find Nick Halen is right on the back of Cam Austin. These cars have the same body style on the two number 7s. Cameron Austin is the green and black car. Halen is the gray 7. This is going to be a great battle. It's been a while since we've seen Cameron Austin in victory lane and the Legends of Pacific at Madera Speedway. And they are leaving Fast Eddie Garoni behind. Fast Eddie's going to come under pressure here soon from Cody Winchell. And they started on row 3 together, by the way, Eddie Garoni and Cody Winchell.
Cameron Austin took the lead 10 laps ago from his sister Carly, but now it's in trouble and a spin right in front of Austin. And boy, a great job by the leaders.
Yellow's out.
Cameron Austin and Nick Halen both had to do evasive action to miss the 77 of Casey Phillips. Phillips was running at the back of the pack, went into turn 1, got up the track, locked the rear brakes up, turned it sideways, and the 2 leaders both had to hang a right turn in the middle of a left-hand corner.
But I tell you what, if this might be a tie if Halen can get the win. I don't know who they would give that to. Probably Halen because he wins the race and finishes in front.
Halen slides in behind Austin, gives him the old bumper off of turn 2. Cameron Austin able to pull away.
And Winchell
Cody
gets around
Winchell
the outside
into
of
3rd, and he's trying to
Eddie.
bring Rosbarski in the 51 as well around Fast Eddie. But the battle's for the lead. Halen took a look. Austin shut the door off of turn 2. Cameron Austin on the throttle. Look at Halen pushing him into the inside, into turn 3. Battle for the lead. They're wheel to wheel. Halen and Cameron Austin up out of the corner. New leaders, the 7. Austin's going to cross him over. Big contact. They get into each other. Halen's around. He gets Austin back. 3 other cars around as well.
Yep, big spin down there. Well, Austin.
Both Austins go around. Carly looped it as well. So did the 77 of Phillips. There's one more car still around down here. I can't see the number on that one out back. Turns around now. That's the 86 car, Kimberly Rouse. So the unfortunate there, they were all spinning to avoid. Carly Austin's been unable to get that 10C car fired up again. And I got to tell you what, if they're sending both Halen and Cameron Austin to the back here, and you got to imagine that they are, wow, does that turn this race upside down?
Yes, it does. And Cody Winchell and Fast Eddie Garoni say, thanks, guys.
Right.
Yeah. Now, what will our producer do? He has the lead battle up front to take care of, but the producer also knows, because he's an ex-race car driver, that there is going to be a lot of action down the back.
You know, Quan's down there directing right now, and he's trying to figure out where his cross-eye glasses are, so he can put one on the lead and one on the last row. No offense to the other 10 cars in between, but
yeah. Well, this could get interesting, because if games are going to continue between those 2 7 cars, that's going to happen while we're driving through some not so fast cars.
That's true.
Things could get very, very interesting, and there's probably a few drivers, like you say, that are in like row 2 to say row 4. They're saying, guys, you might want to just settle down when you're driving through and passing us.
16 laps to go. Cody Winchell brings us to the green with Fast Eddie Garoni on the right side, but
Winchell
Eddie doesn't
got a
get
great
a good start. Cody Winchell's checked out. Eddie Garoni not sure if he could shut the door or not, but does. Drives away off of 2. Here's Rosbarski to the inside. Rosbarski trying to get around Travels into turn 3. Right now, Kevin Travels with that outside line. Slides it, though, and Rosbarski goes into 4th.
And we're down the back. We are 3 wide with these cars, Cameron Austin and Nick Halen coming through. But here it is, Fast Eddie Garoni, the guy who's in 2nd place, trying to hold out. Rosbarski Travels. That's Carly Austin. Here comes Halen.
Nick Halen's up to 6th already and looking to the inside of Carly Austin. Halen into P5. 3 laps for Nick Halen to go from dead last to 5th, and now he's got his eyes on the 37T of Kevin Travels as they head into 3 and 4.
Yes, he does.
13 laps to go, Outback.
Cody Winchell almost stopped coming out of turn 4. Fast Eddie Groening made up about 3 car lengths. I'm not sure what happened to Cody Winchell, but the car stumbled coming out of 4, got going down in 1 and 2. Now Fast Eddie Groening has got about a 2 car length back. Here we go, and the Halen battle continues.
Nick Halen up to 4th. Now sets his sights on the 51 of Rusbarski. Cameron Austin is stalled out. Cameron's in 7th. Now going to get around sister Carly for 6th. That's 5th actually, but it's Halen who we're watching here. Halen trying to get around Rusbarski right now. Fast Eddie Garoni in 2nd, and up front Cody Winchell's looking in his mirror going, why don't we just run this one green to the end? Yep. I'm totally good. We got 10 laps to go
so
this
here's
time
the
around.
question to you, Jason Galvin. What lap number is Nick Halen going to get to the lead?
Well, the way we're going right now,
it's going to be about lap 7, I'd say, the way it's going.
It might be the white flag the way we're going. Halen around Rusbarski. Cameron Austin around Travels, or at least trying to, in 3 and 4. So Cameron Austin's not done yet. Austin's going to get Travels down the front straight.
Yeah, Halen now working over Fast Eddie Garoni. So Eddie Garoni is under pressure from Halen. Halen, obviously, with all that happened, the spin and getting into Cameron Austin, you see the bumper is bent, but it certainly hasn't hampered the performance of that 7 car.
8 laps to go here at Madera. It will be 7 this time around. The leader, Cody Winchell, by about 3 car lengths over Fast Eddie Garoni, and Fast Eddie has about a wheel's length back to Nick Halen, who's looking to the inside at 1 and 2. Halen slams the door on Fast Eddie doing the crossover. The 7 car up to P2. Caution, spin on the front straight. Caution flag is out with 7 laps to go.
Well, this may go back. I'm not sure. Fast Eddie Garoni may get that spot back. We'll wait and see how they play that. But I tell you what, for our race leader, Cody Winchell, Eddie Garoni was his friend because he was holding up that number 7. Halen's got another couple of cars that he's going to try and pick off here real soon. We're getting ready for a start. Next time by, our DJ safety officials have moved to the infield. It is Cody Winchell alongside Fast Eddie Garoni. Row number 2, it is Nick Halen. Nick Halen, and look behind Nick Halen, as Jason Galvin said, it is Cameron Austin. Watch that inside line. That is the rocket ship line, Jason.
7 laps to go. Cody Winchell brings us to the green. Garoni, another poor start. Halen to the inside of the 31. Cameron Austin trying to come as well. Austin cannot let Halen get away, but Halen gets clear. Garoni in between the 2 7 cars. Cameron Austin looking to the inside, but Fast Eddie doing a nice job, and now the battle for the lead. Winchell trying to hold off Halen. 6 laps to go at Madera Outback.
Yeah, Cody Winchell has had a lot of laps around here at Madera Speedway. Very experienced racer. Cameron Austin falls off the battle behind what we're seeing on the screen. Head side by side. Halen now. It's Halen to the lead as they come out of turn number 4. New race leader, Nick Halen. Halen started out at
Contact
P7.
in 1 and 2.
Yes.
Winchell up the track. Fast Eddie going to get around him.
And that's Cameron Austin will have seen that move and may try and do the same move on Cody Winchell. Rusbarski hanging tough in 5th position. So good run from young Brendan Rusbarski.
Nick Halen is checking out here at Madera with 4 laps to go. Fast Eddie Garoni to 2nd.
Oh, we got a car
Winchell
loose
hanging
up the
on
back.
to 3rd.
Let's hope we go clean and green to the end. 3 laps to go. 1 mile of racing on this super fast Madera Raceway. I'll tell you what, this track is really racy. There's lines down low, there's
turn
lines
2,
up high.
86. Kimberly Rouse is around out of the 7th position.
Well, she nearly spun in the same spot last lap. So that's what I was commenting on before, Jason. She was all squirrely down there the lap before.
Nick Halen just went by and looked at Kimberly Rouse like, why?
Yep. We are inside the last 5 laps, so we actually do not double them up.
Single file
restart. So the 7 is loving this because
and look at Eddie Garoni is already pushing Halen.
Yep. Halen already knows that Austin is trapped back, 3 cars behind him. Once again, Winchell pushing the back of Garoni because he knows that's the Achilles heel for the number 31 of Garoni, and he's under pressure from Cameron Austin.
Winchell to 2nd, Garoni to 3rd. Cameron Austin wants to get up onto that podium spot. Nick Halen pulling away. 5 car lengths and more down the front straightaway. 2 circuits left, Outback.
Yes, 2 circuits left for the number 7. He is checked out and gone. Fast Eddie Groening in that beautiful 31 car in third. Cody Winchell second. Look behind him. Austin and Rizbaski have got a race going on. So the 12 of Winchell has dropped way back after leading this event.
White flag up front. The 7 car of Nick Halen. He started in 7th, got to the lead, fell to dead last, and drove right back to the front. Nick Halen wins the Legends of the Pacific main event here at Madera. Second place goes to Cody Winchell. Fast Eddie Garoni comes home in 3rd. Cameron Austin 4th, and Brendan Rozbarski your top 5. But this race belongs to Nick Halen. From middle of the pack to 1st to dead last to 1st once again. Nick Halen earned this one here at Madera.
Race fans, please support the brands that support our sport. NutUp Industries and NutUp.com is the primary sponsor of these free live streams for our fans to enjoy. Please go to NutUp.com and enter the code MAVTV20 for a 20% discount on all of their great, healthy almond snacks. Please visit NutUp.com and support the brands that support our sport by entering MAVTV20 for a 20% discount to say thank you for this free live stream tonight. Hey race fans, are you a fan of grassroots racing? Would you like to see more content from behind the scenes at the Madera Speedway? If so, you need to check out our YouTube channel, Short Track TV. Short Track TV is where you will find the behind the scenes action with documentaries of the race car drivers, old race footage, and other exciting and fun content from the Madera Speedway. Go to Short Track TV and subscribe today and enjoy some more great content from the fastest 1/3 mile in the West, the Madera Speedway.
Well, the Legends of the Pacific, and some information on the Legends of the Pacific. The 12th that ran second today, Cody Winchell, was involved in an incident in that race, went to the back and came back to win at Lakeport, and we mirror image it down here at Madera. The number 7, Nick Halen, involved in an incident, went to the back and stormed his way to victory lane, and he is down there with Jason Galvin.
Well, an excited Nick Halen out of his race car here, a hot race car, and it had to be even hotter in there about midway through that race. Nick, you did a great job battling your way to the front, and then the contact there with Cameron Austin. You go all the way to the back, took you 10 more laps to get right back to the front. How were you so much quicker than everybody else here tonight?
You know, it was just the car was good tonight, even though the front clip is a little bent. I think it might have found us something. So I'm actually going to go home and scale the car with a bent clip and see how it is, and then go from there.
You had that contact there with Cameron Austin battling for the lead. What was your perspective on it?
It was nothing, just racing. We're tight. We all bump a little bit. And, you know, you're bumping at just the right spot and your car's off, you know, and you go around. There's nothing you can do about it. It's okay. I'm just glad no cars got completely smashed there, because then I wouldn't have been able to have my chance to come back.
Well, congratulations, Nick. A return to Madera Speedway. You find yourself right back in victory lane.
Thank you very much. And thanks for Madera for allowing us to be here. I know it was a tough shoot with the Legend cars. We love to race here, and we usually bring a lot of guys, so I hope to be back some more.
Nick Halen, victorious in the Legends of Pacific, return to Madera.